Hello my nakamatachi, this is JoyGirl with a review of chapter 1016 of One Piece, titled It's Me, Tama. And if you're a fan of One Piece, then I do highly recommend that you subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on any One Piece discussions, and please don't forget to like the video and comment below to help with the YouTube algorithm. Now, before we get into the chapter review, I do want to apologize for not making it clearer that the live reaction streams that we've been doing for the past couple of chapters was just a temporary thing that I was doing because I wasn't able to read the chapters like I usually do when they're released on Monday morning. So which is why we are back to this usual schedule of, the reaction and the review just in one video on Monday morning. But I did actually have a lot of fun whilst I was doing the streams, and it seems like many of you guys did too. So if that's something that you'd be interested in seeing, on a permanent basis, then please do let me know and I'll see what I can do to make that happen. And seeing as you missed out on seeing my reactions live for this chapter, I have included them here in this video as per usual, and you can get to it right after this spiel. But if you would just like to see my review, then I've also timestamped that for you, so go right ahead and skip right ahead to the chapter review. Hello my nakamatachi, this is JoyGirl, and we are going to read chapter 1016 of One Piece, and it's titled It's Me, Tama. Okay, it's me, Tama. So we're finally going to get to see what Tama's been planning, what that great goal or what that mission was. Okay, exciting stuff. And we've got a ninja Zoro and a ninja cat. Makes sense that it's a very fitting cover page for that title for Tama. If we've got a chapter focusing on Tama, the aspiring ninja, then we've got a cover page about Zoro as a ninja. Okay, alright, let's start reading. Okay, Flower Capital Wano. It's so strange to think that, they would have, no idea about what's happening on Onigashima. This is literally their one day where they can be merry, they can, be festive without, sort of the worries that they're under the watch of Kaido or Orochi. And, it makes it so much darker knowing that now Onigashima has actually reached Wano. Oh, see, isn't it bright and joyful here at Toko? Okay, we're seeing Toko as well. And, you guys know my theory about Tama and Toko. We're getting both of them in one chapter. Oh, Toko. I wonder if Dad is, watching right now. So sad. And then the Viva cards that were released recently as well about how Yasui isn't actually Toko's biological father. Guest parlor inside the castle. Okay, so we're going back to the CP0. And, it's crazy, every chapter you have to realize just how many players there are and just how intricate this battle at Onigashima is. But all of the pleasures and waiters are on the performance floor, are rebelling against Queen, yes. That turns 4,000 soldiers to the other side, making it 20,000 versus 7,000, yes. Ribbit. Okay, so it's another Frogmary, where are we then? And Momonosuke has fallen! Again, I don't know how the Marys will sound. Yeah, let's break their spirits! A lot more expression and a lot more expression, active expression than I was I guess expecting from the Marys. Would have thought they were more very mechanical, robots. So it's pretty interesting. Team Nami, Usopp, and Tama on the same floor. Okay, the climate baton I developed is talking. Am I even more of a genius than I realized? So funny. Usopp. What? Ew, I don't want an annoying talking weapon. Nami's so harsh, so savage. Oh, I forgot you haven't forgiven me. Oh, look, we're getting a Zeus face. That's so cute. So sweet and innocent as well. What's happening there? What? What on earth? Whoa! Who's that? It's Ulti! What? How on earth is Ulti back up? What? Oh my goodness, this is scary. That is terrifying. Okay, I don't know if you guys watched this, but the last video that I released, I talked about how Nami and Ulti might be the final matchup. And I thought, I thought that was plausible because Ulti must be like quite weakened after Big Mom's attack, but she's here. This is crazy. Oh my goodness, and she's holding Tama. Okay, Ulti, this has got to stop. You have got to stop attacking Tama. She's a sweet little girl. Everything that happened to Pei is your fault. Oh, it's quite sweet, how protective Ulti is over her brother. But still, you gotta stop. You gotta let her down. I thought, yes! Go, Nami. I told you to knock it off. Ooh, special attack. Yes, Usopp. Stargasso. This is great. Okay, we're getting a team battle. I love it. And poor Usopp on the floor. He got really knocked out by Ulti, even after. So Ulti is just wow. Just got real thick skin, oh. Zeus, okay, technically it's not the same thing. So you go ahead and you give it a new name. Okay, so we're getting a new attack, sort of. Fluff. Okay, Fluff. I am the mighty Zeus, right arm of Nami. Prepare for pain. I love it. I wonder if Zeus is gonna do that before every attack, It's quite funny, I love it. Lightning blast. Boom. Okay, so Ulti, great. We saw this before as well. Great reflex. She's got great reflex powers, abilities as well. So she was able to dodge that attack. But look at Zeus. Okay, so Zeus is just able to follow that target, which we have seen before. But this is caught in that lightning. Yikes! Lady Ulti just went down. First page one, now her. Oh. And look at Bell she's losing her mind. Oh my goodness, 2 of the top Europa are out. And everyone, what? That's never happened before. And it was Nami and Usopp who took them down. Yes, I am loving everything that's happening. Sanji, last chapter, now it's Nami and Usopp, and yes. Hang on, are we losing? I've got a beast pirate reaction as well. And okay, we're getting that. We're going back to the rest of the Top Europa. We've got Sasaki, we've got Who's Who and Black Maria. Man, I cannot wait until we go to their fights next. I wonder, but I mean, when they said that, everyone can hear, so it must mean that Bao Huang, that the Marys have a special way in which they aren't able to be used as a loudspeaker, so that they aren't broadcasting it live. I think, because how, it's not like every one of their conversations have been broadcasted. So then is it a switch that they're able to use themselves? It's me, Tama. And that's it, it's Master. Sanji, Tama. This is crazy. And that's Beppo. Is that Beppo? That's the Heart Pirates in that corner there. Ooh. And Onigashima's rumbling. Straw Hat is dead. And so, we're getting to the Yamato and Kaido. Oh, look at him bringing his son down. This is rough, It's like one of those, it's really like a father-son moment, just belittling his son. You couldn't even protect what's important and you call yourself and you think you're going to be able to fight me. Oh, this is rough. Impertinent child. So you got your cuffs off and so you think you can leave? Yes, I'm going out to sea with Luffy, okay? But only after I've driven you off of Wano, Kaido. I am getting goosebumps. This is nuts, and Yamato's not even calling him, by his father. It's Kaido to the core, It's just Kaido. He has severed his ties. This is cold. I love it. It's brutal. Don't think I'm leaving for anywhere else, Yamato. I'm here because it's Wano. That's so interesting. What does that mean? Is it because of the histories at Wano? Is it the road poneglyph at Wano? What is it? Do as I say and be shogun of Wano. That's crazy. So it's like Even as Yamato is saying that he's betraying him, that, that he has severed his ties with him. And still Kaido has just, sort of this, is it because he's so confident of his power over Yamato? Is it faith? Is it trust? What is this relationship between the two is just so interesting. I refuse. I already know I can't win, okay? I guess Yamato would know firsthand exactly how powerless he is against Kaido. But Luffy is the man Kozuki Oden has been waiting for. And until he returns, I'm going to hold you back. What? Oh my goodness, and look at Kaido preparing. Don't assume that I'll go easy on you, Yamato. This is nuts. So excited, and just these little hints that Oda's just dropping, Luffy is the man that Oden is waiting for. I mean, we all knew it, but what exactly does that mean? This is crazy. Is that, oh my goodness, Yamato and Kaido are about to fight. Yes. Oh, all right. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Starting with the cover page featuring a Santoryu shinobi and a cat ninja. And this was another fan requested cover page, which is quite reminiscent of some moments from earlier in the arc featuring some of our other Straw Hats, which does make me just want to get to the review straight away because there was quite a bit of focus on these said Straw Hats in this chapter. The chapter started with the people on mainland Wano celebrating the Fire Festival, and we see Toko and Tenguyama in attendance. I believe that this is the first time that we've seen these two characters interact, and if you've been following this channel for a while, you remember that in part 1 of my Let's Talk Wano discussion, I theorized that Toko is not Yasui's biological daughter, which was then confirmed by Oda in a Vivre card and an SBS. In that same video, I brought up the possible relationship between the two young girls, Toko and Tama, and how Yasui and Tenguyama might have played a role in that. And I'll link the video in the description box below if any of you are interested in my thoughts, because I'm not gonna lie, seeing these two interact in this chapter makes me a bit confident about my theory regarding these two girls. Also, seeing the conversation between Tenguyama and Toko about Yasui also adds more weight to the theory that Tenguyama is actually Kozuki Sukiyaki in disguise, which came about ever since it was confirmed that these two characters share the same voice actor. Because in this scene, we could also see that Tenguyama's large wings and his tall sandals were absent from his attire, which leads to the question of what was the purpose for those sandals and his wings? Are they part of his disguise? And if so, what is he disguising for? The way that this scene ended has that very dark tone in it though, because of the dialogue where Tenguyama was telling Toko that Yasui is looking down and watching over Toko and the fate of Wano, and then immediately after, the scene cuts to Onigashima floating, and it gives off that feeling that the fate of this country rests on those who are on Onigashima. It gives us a reminder or a warning that the fate of this country could really change at any moment. It could change at a single drop, such as the drop of the island onto Flower Capital. It's one of those couple of pages that I personally could really hear. People dancing, celebrating, and some nice, heartwarming dialogue, and then done. We get this floating reminder of what these characters are fighting for this country and its citizens who are unaware of what is currently unfolding, which will surely change the shape of this country no matter the outcome. It just has that very cinematic feeling. We then got another update on CP0, or should I say CP0 gave us an update on how the tide has changed at Wano, which is now 20,000 versus 7,000 in the Beast Pirates' favor, after 4,000 soldiers turned against them, after Queen's, due to Queen's actions. And this number actually still doesn't include those whom Tama fed her Kibidango, so I'm really curious as to what this number really is. Speaking of Tama, her group took up the bulk of the focus of this chapter, which included what seems to be the conclusion of Nami versus Ulti. Well, technically, we got Nami, Usopp, and Zeus versus Ulti. It was confirmed that Zeus did indeed fuse with Nami's baton. And whilst I do think that this new Zeus is a great power-up for Nami, and without it, it would have just been way too difficult for Nami to have, defeated Ulti just using her wits alone, as she has previously done in, against previous opponents. Even with Usopp's help, it would have been way too difficult. And, in saying that, whilst Zeus was great in this chapter, and whilst he played a, huge role in taking Ulti down, I still can't shake the feeling that I want more than this for Nami's character. Part of me is really hoping that this doesn't keep happening for Nami in her future fights, but I guess this time, since she was up against a super tough Zoan, it would have been almost impossible for her to find a way to defeat Ulti with her current abilities alone, so I do think that this does count as a big win for Nami, because her taming Zeus, resulted in one of the big early victories for the Alliance, and that should be celebrated. I love that little exchange between Nami and Zeus in coming up with a new name for the cloud. I guess the two have, very different views about how they see the little cloud boy. I gotta add too that in this sequence of events where all 5 characters are interacting, the pages are very nicely paneled. In fact, for something as busy as what's going on Onigashima, and the apparent time constraints that Oda has perhaps placed on himself, which is what is resulting in all of these fights, being resolved just very quickly in one chapter, the action and the interactions are very nicely placed. And the art, while smaller, clearly shows us what is going on, and I prefer these little panels than completely off-screening fights because this achieves the quick resolution of finishing fights in the middle of one chapter, like in this one, without sacrificing that experience for us readers. In this way, the story can progress quicker, whilst also, showing us bits and pieces of action, which then the anime can then expand on. I doubt we're going to get a lot of chapters dedicated to fights like we did in the past, if any, unless it's a Luffy fight. So I think, clear paneling with some good action is enough to kill all these birds with one stone. Back then, at least one of these scenes would have been dedicated at least half a page, such as Ulti headbutting Usopp, which Oda manages to fit nicely as just the bottom third of the page in this chapter. And as much as I feel bad for Usopp, I couldn't help but think how cool Ulti looks in landing that headbutt on him. The way that Ulti is always drawn just always screams badass female character, and we got a good shot of that in this chapter. The way that she's holding up Tama just by her neck, which isn't a very good image, and I gotta admit that I did squeal at seeing Tama, in danger again, but I did really love the way that Ulti was drawn. She's just such a cool character. And that's just a little Ulti appreciation bit, seeing as we might not be seeing her again after this war is over, if indeed she is, finished for this war. And whilst we're showing some appreciation, we really gotta commend Usopp's durability. Our Straw Hat Sniper has really been the butt of a lot of heads. He's really taken on a lot of headbutts. I guess those time skip muscles aren't just for show. This whole sequence resulted in and ended with Tama beginning her long-anticipated announcement to everyone by using Bao Huang's ability after Usopp caught the Mary. And Bao Huang pulled a queen because while she was freaking out about 2 of the Tobiroppo losing, which she accidentally announced to everyone, which was hilarious, but also, played a big role in switching up the morale of everyone in the battle. Bao Huang had a different purpose by switching on her ability, because we saw earlier in the chapter the goal was to break down the Alliance's spirits, crush their morale, but that backfired, and we could see it because we cut to the 3 remaining Tobiroppo who looked shocked at the announcement. Speaking of these remaining Tobiroppo, based on their bruise marks, it seems like they're having a difficult time with our Straw Hats, hey? Black Maria seems to be heavily breathing, and if these, members of the Tobiroppo are taken back by this news, it means that they know that they can be beaten, that there are fighters within the Alliance capable of bringing them down, and unlucky for them that they are already face to face with said people. Man, I love the Straw Hats. The victory of this sort of information warfare is a massive, massive win, considering that the Alliance's general is currently out of the battlefield. The Alliance now has additional reason to believe Luffy's words that he will defeat Kaido because he has a crew capable of clearing the way for him to get to that goal. Man, I love the Straw Hats. We never got to see Tama finish her announcement as we cut to Kaido versus Yamato. This is hyped. The shared backstory featuring these two is going to be crazy. We got a little tease of that in here as well, with Yamato confirming that Luffy may very well be actually Joy Boy, as he is the one that Kozuki Oden has been waiting for, as well as the actual reason why Kaido is at Wano. That backstory. We're going to get to see Kaido's past, which is sure to include some very important characters and once considered legends in the story. And we also might get to see the extent of what Yamato knows about Oden and his journal. And man, just the thought of this alone is giving me goosebumps. I practically had goosebumps throughout the last couple of pages. Every time Yamato rebuked Kaido, just drove me wild. And when Yamato declared to hold off the Yonko at least until Luffy returns, and well, that was Beppo that we saw in that tiny little panel just before we cut to Kaido and Yamato. And considering what we saw of the rest of the Heart Pirates in the last chapter, well, Luffy's return might be sooner than everyone realizes. I am also very excited at Yamato again mentioning wanting to go out to sea with Luffy, which is nothing new. Yamato mentioned this when they first met, but the fact that this was mentioned again, Yamato for Nakama? Yamato joining the Straw Hats will really strengthen the parallels between the Straw Hats and the Roger Pirates. You know, you've got your Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji as like your Roger, Rayleigh, and your Gaban. Then add Yamato to that, which makes Yamato, of course, the Oden, who was in a similar power level as those three. You know, exciting times for the crew. But in saying that, this still doesn't confirm anything because Yamato doesn't necessarily have to join the crew to sail with them. You know, think of Law or Kinemon or anyone else who have sailed with the Straw Hat crew. But in saying that, Yamato for Nakama. It's interesting that Kaido went into his hybrid form straight away, as if to say that he's acknowledging Yamato, or maybe he just really wants to whoop his sons behind and end this fight faster. I mean, he did say that he isn't going to go easy. The chapter ended with what seems to be a Kanabo Haki clash, and the Black Lightning, of course, makes you question whether that was a clash of Conqueror's Haki. And that, I will leave for you, my friends, to speculate upon. But please do let me know what you think of that clash and of the chapter by leaving a comment below. And please don't forget to subscribe, seeing as we have a chapter break next week. And I shall be here to fill your One Piece void. This is JoyGirl. I'll see you again soon.